Facebook. So which of us have got that many friends, right? So obviously it's all Narishkeiten. So it doesn't exist, the whole thing. It's in cyberspace, the power cut, and all those friends have gone, right? So that he's going there to save his life. We have to thank technology and not blame technology. Nobody healthy goes to technology. You ever saw a healthy person on an iPhone? Right? Healthy people, yeah, some of them use it sensibly, but this what we're seeing with these teenagers with the technology, it's not a healthy sign. They just care for us. They could end it in 5 minutes, but they really care for us because, believe you me, it's easier for them to commit suicide than not to. Much easier. But they feel bad for us. So they say, you know what, I know that you don't really want to make a matzeva for me, so you know what, I'll go off the derech, I'll have a little bit of love and a little bit of respect until I can heal, and that way at least you won't lose your child. Right? And that's what we're making a big kenes. No internet. Right? So Baruch Hashem, for healthy people, they shouldn't go anywhere near the internet. Right? We have to remember there are healthy people out there. At least it seems that way. But for those in this room, we have to understand that's what's going on. Going off the derech is not the problem. It's a side effect. It's a side effect of trauma, not more than that. And as soon as you heal the trauma, they come straight back on. Technology, going off the derech, and the whole bunch more, you can see in the kunchas, they're nothing more than side effects. They're not the problem. They're the solution. Going off the derech is the best solution they have. The iPhone is the best solution. It gives them love, it gives them respect. There's other needs which we'll just touch on because it's important that you're aware of it, but there are some kids who have the need for thrill, for action, and they can't get it in school because, like, if you move from your chair, that's called chutzpah. And I don't know, I'm not a teacher, but it's like lots of wonderful things. It's like you're not normal and you have to take medication, and so some people just need to move and have a bit of a thrill and a bit of excitement. I had a story actually where there was a kid, and it's a funny story, a sad story, it's a good story anyway. Where there was a kid, and nobody wants to be in this situation where the school found that in the bathrooms, there's a door on each bath, and you go into the bathroom, there's a door. And there was a boy who, he was in one, and he stood up to see what was going on in the next cubicle. And obviously when that happens, it's already, who knows what's happened to this boy, who knows what he's going to do. So they went, this one, that one. When they came to somebody with brains, and this fellow with brains says, it could be he just needed some action. Let him go horse riding and see what happens. And that was the end of the problem. This poor kid needed some action, what could he do? Where in school can he get action? He found the one place he can get a little bit of action, and that was that. So there's some kids who need the thrill. Right? We all know some of those. Some of us need the thrill as well. So the iPhones is the solution. Some people need certainty. They need to know exactly where they're holding. Right? It's also Gemara. Certainty is a need. It's a very Jewish need. Havadai Shemoi Klal Yisrael is all about certainty. Many of us parents are suffering from the fact that we need to know what's going on. We need to be absolutely certain that the child is doing exactly what he's supposed to. And even if he's not doing what he's supposed to, we need to know exactly what he's not doing, exactly what... Right? And if you're familiar with that, sometimes it's half the problem. But these kids need certainty. They need to know everything's predictable. Now in life, not everything is predictable. So these kids need predictability. And the parents are not predictable because... Like, when I come home at 3 o'clock in the morning with a girlfriend, my father starts shouting at me, that wasn't predicted. And he's going crazy, so he's got his iPhone, and there everything's predictable. You move like this, and it does this, and you move like this, it does that, and it meets that need. Those are the basic needs of Chazal, the 4 Yeseidos: love, respect, the action, and the certainty. Right? You have those 4, and you're sorted. So these poor kids, who are not getting any of that anywhere, they'll do anything to get what they need. And we call it off the derech. Well, they're not off no derech. They're just desperately looking to survive, and they're finding the best solution at their disposal. And they're doing not a bad job. They're doing a good job. Let's leave the certainty and the thrill, and let's leave that, because those are details, which we haven't got time to go into them at length. Let's just take the basic ones, the love and the respect. The difference between love and respect is very straightforward. Love is to do with who you are. the more the love is dependent on anything you do, the less it's real love. It's not love. The Mishnah says love means it's eino tluya b'davar. It's not dependent on anything, which means there's nothing you can do that can take it away. Otherwise, it's a business. If it's tluya b'davar, it means you do this, you're in business, and if you're in a business, you might go bankrupt. But if it's ava she'eino tluya b'davar, that means if you love him because he's doing something, or if your love is going to get less in any way because of something he is or isn't doing, then you're not feeling love. And just by the way, exactly what we feel about the kids, they feel about themselves. They know it all. You can tell them I love you, they know exactly what you mean. They probably understand, I love your test results, or I love it if you would be somebody else, or I love you if you were the child I ordered when I was under the chuppah, or whatever it is. They know exactly what we mean. Respect means that I appreciate something that you've done. Respect always means there's something about you that I'm not. Right? When do you ever have to respect? You have to respect somebody who's above you. A melech, a father, a rebbe. Those are the three things. Where there's somebody above you, you have to respect something he has that you're not. Now it's a bit of a problem because it happens to be that you have to respect everyone. And you have to respect your child. So there must be something in your child which is unique in him. Completely unique. And if you don't find it, he won't find it. And if nobody finds it, then the covet is down. The covet is down. What's our job as parents? Now, at the end of the day, we're not teachers, and we're not in MH starting the day the Torah way. We're all here as parents. What's our job? Did any of us think before we got married that, Mi'at Hashem, I'll be a parent? What's my job? I looked in the Ksubah, it doesn't even say anything there about parenting. So I became a parent, nobody warned me before, but I didn't know it might happen. And what's my job as a parent? So most people, Baruch Hashem, will say, what do you mean to mechanech my children? What then is parents supposed to do? You got any other ideas? What are parents supposed to do if not mechanech the children? It's a terrible, terrible mistake. Chinuch is one of the things that parents have to do. And it happens to be d'Rabbanan, just about. And it happens to be something which mothers are more or less potter. It's a chiyuv d'Rabbanan at the most. Chinuch. I'll tell you even more than that, and it's very not popular. It's extremely unpopular. But the one dogma, the one example that's used in Chazal for relating to somebody where chinuch has failed. Right? What happens when chinuch has absolutely failed? Nada, zero, nothing. You did it all wrong. Right? So when Klal Yisrael do it completely wrong, everything about chinuch failed. What are we called? Bonim. Right? There's a whole machlokes in the Gemara. Rav Meir says that even if Klal Yisrael do aveirus, bein kach u bein kach bonayim. And even though, agav, for the Talmidei Chachamim here, even though in Shas we paskin like Rav Yehuda, not like Rav Meir, the Rashba says in this case is the only time in Shas we paskin like Rav Meir. Paskin like Rav Meir that bein kach u bein kach bonayim. Yisrael apel pishachota, Yisrael who, we're not going now into the Makairos. So the one thing that you are when chinuch has failed is a father. So tell me, what is it, what have we missed? When I got married and I knew I was going to have a child, what's that required from me? What am I as a parent? I know what I need to do. I need to teach him to swim. I need to make sure he goes to bed on time, just because, right? And I need to try and be mechanechim. But those are the things I need to do. Maybe my spare time, maybe in a bit of the time, maybe some of the time, maybe none of the time. And certainly only till a certain age, till 13, till 18, till 22, whatever the Gemara says there. But who am I as a parent? Who am I as a parent? Till the Rabbanon came along, there was no chinuch. Chinuch is Rabbanon. Rashi says in 3 places, and this is very unpopular, I don't know who's going to be watching or listening to this, but you can look it up in the Kunchas, the Makairos. In 3 places in Shas, Rashi asks, what does the word Av mean? Aleph base, father. What does it mean? The reason I'm saying father is because Rashi quotes the word Pitron. which is the word for father. Father is pitrein. What is a pitrein? Rashi says chaver, a friend. You want to know who you are as a father, your friend. That's when you became a father, long before you started doing what you have to do, which is called chinuch. Number one would be his friend. As a friend, one of the things you should do is do chinuch. If it works, if you know how. If you have a question to either give up the chinuch role or to give up the father role, which one are you going to give up? We have to find space in our hearts for, number one, the connection with our child, for who they are as a human being, and not loving you because you're achieving, because you got results. He has to get gifts for who he is. He goes, "What? I should give him a gift. What for?" No, forget the what for. You only buy flowers on an anniversary because you're under threat. If we don't do things to show the child, I want you just the way you are. And then they say, no, but how can I say that I'm happy? He might think that if I'm happy with the way he is, that I'm happy that he's been Mechal Shabbos. Right? If you think that way, you're much more off the derech than he is. Well, you think he's nuts? You think they forgot? I always tell parents they should check if their children have got Alzheimer's. You all know what Alzheimer's is? Right? You should forget. So I tell parents, send your child to check. They say, what do you mean? He's only 16, he's only 11, he's only 19. Why should he have Alzheimer's? It's like, not so statistically, he wouldn't have Alzheimer's. So I said, so why are you telling him 1,000 times that in our family, couples have rims? And in our family, we don't come to the Shabbos table with an iPhone. How many times are you telling him that? Do you think he's forgotten? So they said, no, he hasn't forgotten. So I said, so maybe you have Alzheimer's. We have to love the child just because he's your child. Come to the Shabbos table with your iPhone. Don't worry, I promise you he won't think that you're okay with his iPhone. He might think that you're okay with him. And then there's a small chance that he'll start saying, whoa, you mean there's something about me that even my Averis can't dent? Right, so then I might have somewhere to move back from. I can move on from there. The Pinteleid. You can't dent that Pinteleid. I've got a whole list, a whole page of stories. I don't have it here. Of tremendous Kiddush Hashem that these kids are doing. And probably each and every one of you here have seen a red line that the child, whichever the child is not crossing. And it doesn't matter what the red line is. We don't have any red lines. Any of you in here have red lines? No. We do exactly what we're supposed to do because we've always done what we're always supposed to do. That's all it is. We keep Shabbos because you have to keep Shabbos. I am hot and I want the air conditioning or the fan on. No, you don't even think about it twice. I need to keep Shabbos, I keep Shabbos. And that's just that. So, what's with this kid? Are you allowed to eat on Yom Kippur? I think most of us know you're not allowed to eat on Yom Kippur. So this kid says, you know what? I'm fasting half day on Yom Kippur, till Chatzos. He thinks it's Tzom Gedalia Nidche. Right? Yom Kippur is fasting till Chatzos. Who's getting more schar? Us for fasting 25 hours, or for him fasting till Chatzos? I promise you he's going to get more schar for fasting till Chatzos. Why? Because he had the nisayon to eat on Yom Kippur, and he held himself back for 12 hours. None of us did that. And I can give you hundreds of examples like this. In America, in the convention, they challenged me there. Each parent tried to convince me that their child, nothing doing, there's nothing, no Yiddishkeit left. There wasn't a single parent that left that room that still thought that way. There's no Jewish child that you can't find that red line. And believe you me, that red line is deserving him of tremendous respect. He deserves a hug, he deserves a big gift. Say, I'm so proud of you that even though it was hard for you, you pulled it through till Chatzos. Do you really think he's going to think that you're okay with the fact that you ate after Chatzos? He knows what Yom Kippur is. He's feeling bad enough for the second half of his Yom Kippur as it is. Reward him for the first half of Yom Kippur. He doesn't deserve it. The second the brain has got scratched, we scrap chinuch. Chinuch doesn't apply. Even the Gemara says if he's not magiya lechinuch, there's no chinuch. So anything that you're doing because it's chinuch, scrap. There's no one to talk to, you're causing damage. You're partially causing damage, you're reminding him what a failure he is. You're reminding him how much he's letting you down. And that's not contributing to his feeling loved and not contributing to his feeling respected. These kids have higher neshamas than we do, you should know that. We're not going now into an arichas as to why it is like that and why this doyer is having it, but these kids are not breaking stone. Right? Crystal breaks much quicker than glass and then stone. If these kids are broken, they're tremendously fragile. They're very, very high neshamas. They know exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They are in much more pain than we are. They're going through a hard time. They'll all come back. But we have to make sure that we're giving them a fair dose of love and of respect. On the big picture, everything that we're doing with these children, everything we're doing is either contributing or hurting the ava and the kovod. Everything we're doing. So we have to, number one, we have to stop hurting them. We have to stop doing anything that in their world, this father that says, what do you mean? I'm hitting him. And when I'm hitting him, it's only because I love him. And I'm doing it completely l'shem shemayim, and this child is standing there and I'm saying 1 minute, l'shem yichud kudsha brichu. I'm doing this poshet because I love you. And then he's whacking him because I don't know what, he did something wrong. Is this child going to feel loved? No. Even though it says in the books that every parent loves their child, it stays in the books, but this child might commit suicide. We have to show genuine love. We have to find place in our hearts for this child no matter what. And we have to find the point where it's right to respect him, but never reciprocate good things he does with love. We mustn't confuse. You compliment good things that he does, but you have to love and never say I love you because then straight away it's not love. It's not love. It means you love something I did. You love me because I served your needs. You want to have nachas. I'm your nachas machine. I'm sorry I've let you down, and you're now happy that I'm giving you that little bit of nachas. That's not called love. If you say I love you so much because, forget it. Put it in the bin. There's another factor which is very important, and that's all of us. Till now we discussed the child, but now let's do copy and paste. We also have feelings. And the emphasis is that all of us have a little bit of messed up feelings from back in the day. The Gemara says that a 60-year-old is walking around with a little 6-year-old inside. It's a Gemara Moed Cotton. Furusha Gemara. Every 60-year-old has a 6-year-old child. Today it's called the inner child. It was written in the Gemara 2,000 years ago. How respected do we feel when our child comes home from shul on Shabbos Friday night with his girlfriend in a car and walks in with his mobile phone to the Sudas Shabbos? What's that doing to our respect? Not that much. And then the little child inside that's also a little bit broken, a little bit traumatized just because of the society we live in and because of what we've been through. And then we get triggered. When we get triggered, then all of us become challenged teenagers, just in adult form. So it's not a little problem, it's a big problem. And then we have a spouse who's in the same boat. So now it's murdic. You've got two parents who've been triggered, the poor kid in pain, and what does that leave you with? A big mess. So often I've told parents,
Talking about saving lives.
so often when I speak to parents and I say let go, he says, what do you mean it's already 12 o'clock at night, the child's not home? Wait there, or don't wait there. Before you go to bed, it's ready 3 o'clock in the morning, put a plate of some cakes, cookies, whatever you call them, on the table, write a note, Shlomi, Chaim, Chani, whatever name his or her name is.
Amen.
So often I've told parents, the child's coming home late, prepare something. But how can I? I don't know where he is. So what we're doing, we're using our own need for certainty or our own need for control. I need some control. I can't control. I don't know where he is. I don't know who he's playing, hanging out with. I don't know if somebody's hurting him. I don't know if somebody's not hurting him. I don't know if he's wasting money. I don't know if he's stealing money. All the things we don't know. I mean, Taki, you'll never know. And better that way. It's better we don't know. Ignorance is bliss sometimes. And we all know what that means. Right? But our need for control, and we have zero control here, and then we go with sugar. And then that is stopping us from just letting go and saying, just a minute, this poor child, he's roaming in the streets just because he doesn't want to hurt us by committing suicide. And all he wants when he comes home is a plate of biscuits, a note, and preferably a father and a mother to give him a hug and say, we're so happy you're back. And instead of that, we're standing there, you don't know, I'm waiting for you since 11 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock, it's on Macharusa tomorrow. And in different variations, we've all been there, done that. You've got an iPhone. Don't know that all the Rabbonim say not allowed to have an iPhone. I'll get you a phone, a tagged phone. You know, at least it's going to be shidduchim, all the siblings. Anyway, who knows what's going to be your shidduch, but at least there's other siblings. And in desperation, we're trying to regain control from our lives, and we're adding insult to injury. And it's so important for us to become self-aware how we're being triggered and not blending our problem with his problem. If we get divorced, it's going to be your fault. You know how many of these kids have this?